Self-sabotage is something that has been around for a very long time, but what happens when a whole community starts worshiping struggle? How did we get here? How is it affecting us? And where are we going? This started a couple of years ago. My family is from Dominican Republic. They had the chance to exit the country. And I have one specific cousin who had the opportunity to travel to the US and Canada. Now, when he started visiting, he loved it. It was a new experience for him to be able to get out of the country and just see things that he had never seen before. However, it got to a point that he had the option to move there. And mind you, I understand that for some people, moving to a whole new country, leaving everything behind, and just packing up and leaving is a scary experience. It's not for everybody, and it's something that you really have to think about. However, in his certain situation, it was obvious because his living conditions weren't the best. So now I understand for somebody having a good life in the Dominican Republic, living the weather and everything that they got going on with a nice house, and moving to the US or Canada, it just doesn't make sense because they have everything they need. But if you are struggling, why wouldn't you take the opportunity to be in an environment where everything is covered? The reasoning that I heard from this individual was mind-baffling, and despite the fact that I don't remember the sentence specifically, it surrounded the idea of this is way too easy for me. I was so dumbfounded that by thinking about it more and more, I realized that a lot of us actually do this without even thinking about it. Some of us carry this idea that working harder automatically gives you a badge of honor. Struggling gives you a badge of honor, and it just does not make sense. If you ask anybody around the world if they will forfeit their privileges just to seem more noble, most likely they wouldn't. I think I started seeing it in the media with songs like I'm So Hood by T-Pain, or even the song by Drake, Started From the Bottom, and I love that song. That's not the point, that shit's a banger. What I'm trying to say is there is nothing wrong by feeling proud of where you came from. That is not the idea that I'm trying to explore here. What I'm trying to say is that some people put themselves in certain positions that they don't have to, just to feel like they're doing the right thing. The media has brainwashed us to make us feel like making it harder for ourselves is noble. It's what you should be doing. That's crazy. Girls with pretty privilege don't go out there saying, let me look like shit today. Let me take the high road. This idea of taking the road less traveled or working that hard. My people, we ain't gotta do that anymore. There is something that my brother always tells me, which is hilarious. This guy is funny as hell. We ain't gotta live like that anymore. And it became a joke because if he sees me doing something that you don't really have to, for example, like reusing a dirty cup or something like that, he would be like, we ain't gotta live like that anymore. And it cracks me up every time. But I said it in a certain environment and I realized that, damn, it's probably hitting them different. Because some people just choose to live in a certain way when they don't really have to. This identity of being poor or not having enough is not allowing us to move forward. It's harming us. It's not allowing us to level up. Because we're stuck in this mind that I came from this environment, I will never change. That's one of the biggest lies that we have ever told ourselves. I will never change. Why do you work so hard if you're not planning to change? That makes no sense. CIA 1, Black Community 0. Bruh. For some people, the struggle stopped being a chapter and it became the entire story. I live by this motto of reducing friction. And I try to do it with absolutely everything in my life. If I need to go through an airport, I will get TSA or pre-check to stop friction, to make my life a little bit easier. Because at the end of the day, there are so many things in life that we cannot control. Why would you make your life harder when life is already making your life harder every day? One day I saw a video by Vince Staples saying that black people self-struggle. That is our market. But what happens when you consume the same struggle that you are being sold? Look at Nina Simone. Look at those artists from back in the day, singing and making art about specifically their pain. R&B, the whole genre was built on pain. The genre of blues music was built on pain. But if you continuously consume this content, automatically you will program yourself to believe that this is reality when it doesn't have to be. And then you will make choices based on your identity to fit into that reality. Anyways, I'm not trying to preach. I just want to give you another perspective today. Get off that negative shit. Go listen to some Anderson .Paak, some vibes, bruh. Thank you, and be dope.